So, welcome to Jumbo Eyes and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. The purpose of this lecture series is very simple. It's actually twofold. Number one, we want you to revise your current affairs. Through revision, you'll be able to consolidate your current affairs. And what better way to revise your current affairs than by getting the much needed MCQ practice? Okay, because MCQ practice comes in really handy in stage 1 of your UPSC examination or any other state civil services examination. All right, so without MCQ practice you cannot clear your prelims, which is stage 1 for your civil services examination. Now look, through this lecture series we'll be practicing MCQs from current affairs alone. For other subjects like polity, geography, history, we'll have other lecture series. Okay, but the value of this lecture series is that if you watch this lecture series on a regular basis daily with me, daily you're covering 4 to 5 MCQs with me, well, by the end of 1 year, when you're ready for your prelims examination next year, you would have practiced more than 1200 MCQs. And 1200 MCQs from current affairs alone are more than sufficient. Okay, plus current affairs forms the most important portion of your exam. Okay, almost 40 to 50% of your exam, prelims exam, is directly or indirectly related to current affairs, so you cannot choose to ignore current affairs. Okay, so make this lecture series a part of your daily routine. Now enough of the introduction, let's straight away jump into the discussion, starting with question number 1. Okay, so consider the following statements regarding black hole triple system. The black hole at the center of such a system is formed after a supernova event. Okay. Black holes were first predicted by Albert Einstein in his special theory of relativity. The first black hole triple system was Sagittarius A star, discovered in 1974. Okay. So how many of the above statements are correct? Now listen. Black holes were first predicted. Okay, black holes were first predicted by Albert Einstein. Okay, he predicted them in 1915 in his general theory of relativity, not special, general theory of relativity. In fact, for relativity, he gave two theories, general theory and special theory. So it was predicted, black holes were predicted in general theory. So this is false because it's written special theory over here. Now, what is a black hole? Basically, it is a point in space time whose gravitational pull is so high that even light cannot escape it, and that's why they appear black. Now, generally, when a black hole comes in contact with a star, it starts eating away, pulling material from that star towards itself because of its high gravitational pull. Okay, and eventually it destroys that star. Generally, the black holes sighted in the universe are binary systems. What are binary systems? Basically, whenever a black hole is seen through a telescope, it is generally accompanied by a star. Okay, so that star is revolving around that black hole, and that black hole is also pulling material from that star towards itself. These are binary systems. But when instead of one star, a black hole has two stars, a nearer star and a farther star, then that is known as a black hole triple system, and it had never been discovered until now. Okay, in 2024, for the very first time, black hole triple systems were discovered, not binary systems, triple systems. Okay, and this black hole was named Cygnus 404. Okay, and it was discovered in Cygnus constellation. It was recently discovered. Okay, so the first black hole triple system was Sagittarius A star, discovered in 1974. Absolutely not. Okay, it was Cygnus 404, discovered in 2024. Now, generally, black holes are formed by collapse of a star. Okay, which is known as a supernova event, when a star explodes and then collapses upon itself. But sometimes a star converts itself into a black hole without a supernova, and that process is known as direct collapse. So, binary systems are generally formed after a supernova, but black hole triple systems are formed after direct collapse. This was what was concluded by this discovery of Cygnus 404. Okay, So black hole at the center of such a system, triple system, is formed after a supernova? No. Direct collapse. No statement is correct. Okay. Question 2. Consider the following regarding consumer price index. So CPI based rural and CPI urban inflation is calculated by National Statistical Office. Okay. Food and beverages category has the highest weightage in CPI rural but not CPI urban. The base year for CPI has recently been changed to 2017-18 from 2011-12. So consumer price index is basically a measure of inflation. Now listen to me carefully. We calculate consumer price index for the entire country, which is known as CPI combined. Then we calculate consumer price index for entire rural India, which is known as CPI rural. We also calculate CPI urban. All three of them are calculated by NSO, National Statistical Office, which is under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Okay, but we also calculate three more CPIs: CPI industrial worker, CPI rural labor, CPI agricultural labor. Now these three are calculated not by NSO but by Labor Department under Ministry of Labor. Okay, so remember this fact. Now, CPI based rural and urban inflation is calculated by NSO, absolutely correct. Now, within consumer price index, we have divided the entire consumer price index into different categories that people, consumers in general, buy. Like consumers buy food and beverages, consumers buy transport services, education services. So these are categorized. The highest weightage is given to food and beverages category in both CPI rural and CPI urban. This statement says only in CPI rural, not CPI urban. That's not correct. Food and beverages category has the highest weightage in both CPI rural, CPI urban. Okay, so this part is false. And the base year for consumer price index is still 2011-12. It has not been changed to 2017-18. So this part is false. C. Okay. Question number 3. Which of the following can be categorized as non-human meteorological factors behind high air pollution during winters in northern India? Okay. Temperature inversion, anticyclonic conditions and low wind speed, stubble burning in the agricultural fields of Punjab, Haryana and western UP. Okay. So why does Delhi have such high levels of air pollution during winter months, and why does the entire North India basically has such high levels of air pollution during winter months? First factor is temperature inversion. What happens is that because of such cold temperatures, the ground is quite cold. Therefore, air near the ground is cold, and warmer air lies above that cold air. Okay. Now, the tendency of warm air is to rise, and that of cold air is to descend. But if cold air is at the bottom and warm air is at the top, cold air won't rise. Okay. Therefore, the pollutants in the cold air get trapped. Had the layer closer to the ground been warm, then that warm air would have risen and spread out the pollutants. Pollution would have been low. But that is not the case during winter. This is known as temperature inversion and it causes high air pollution. Then, during winter months after monsoon, anticyclonic conditions are there in northern India, which creates very low winds. Okay, wind speeds are extremely low. Now, if wind speeds are high, well, they also disperse pollutants. But low wind speeds actually concentrate pollutants in one particular area. So, this also causes high air pollution. Plus, stubble burning in Punjab, Haryana, Western Uttar Pradesh definitely causes air pollution. Okay, but it is not a non-human factor. It is a human factor. Stubble burning is a human reason. So, this is false. 1 and 2 only. And last, another question related to black hole. Which of the following is correct regarding black holes? A black hole is a region in space where the pull of gravity is so strong that no matter or light can escape it. Okay. The first black hole ever discovered was Cygnus X1, located within the Milky Way in the constellation of Cygnus. All right. Now, both statements are correct. This we have discussed. Black hole is a point in space-time where pull of gravity is so high that even light cannot escape it. And though black holes were predicted by Einstein in 1915, but Einstein just predicted them through his mathematical equations. Those were just predictions. The first black hole ever seen by a telescope was in 1974. Okay, it was Cygnus X1 in the Milky Way galaxy of constellation Cygnus. So this part is also correct. Both statements are correct. All right. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And please do not forget to revise this lecture from our PDF file. In this PDF file, all the questions discussed in this lecture would have their detailed solutions written. So you can read those detailed solutions also. You can gather some extra information also. All you have to do is go to our Telegram channel by clicking on the link given in the comment section below this video. So I have shared the link of my Telegram channel in the comment section below this video. Click on that link. It will take you to our Telegram channel. From there, you can download the PDF file for not just this lecture, but all the other lectures featuring on our YouTube channel. All right. On that note, I'll be signing off with the promise of seeing you next time with next day's current affairs through MCQs. Thank you, everyone.